Well, it's a 19th century cottage, and it's extremely isolated. You'd probably spot it from a mile off. If you enjoy the great outdoors and having a lot of time to yourself, it's ideal. You can walk for hours without seeing another soul. And despite its bleakness in the dead of winter, the landscape remains captivating all year round. You know, there are old railway bridges and bits of track scattered everywhere across the landscape. It makes me think, this place is probably more disconnected from society now than it was 100 years ago. You might have guessed, but there's also a lot of farming here. About half the kids that went to my school belong to that community, and most of their families have lived here for generations. I was checking out some old cottage ruins the other day local to the house. Must date back about 200 years, although there's not much left of them now. Mother Nature has done a good job at reclaiming the land. You can still make out some of the features inside, but soon there'll be nothing left. It makes me ponder about these people, who they were, what lives they led, what did they do? But in a lot of ways, I think country life is still the same now as it was back then. It's a more independent way of living, and it requires you to be a bit more hands-on, and I think that's definitely what attracts people. People around here pride themselves in their land and how they look after it, what they've made, what vegetables they grow, the flowers they have, you have to like getting your hands dirty, really. And my parents grow loads of their own food. They spend so much time in the garden. I literally can't stress though how much nicer homegrown produce is compared to what you can get in the supermarket. And what's nice is that the neighbours will share everything with each other. Being so sparsely populated, everyone that is here bands together, a properly tight-knit community that you probably don't find as much in urban areas. I have fond memories making things with my dad up in the garage. We made a raft, bows and arrows, loads of cool stuff. That place is a real treasure trove of tools, artwork and miscellaneous bits and bobs. Mum calls it a junkyard, but I think for a creative, a space like that is essential. Somewhere to hide away and let your mind play out its greatest ideas. It's not hard to see why an artist would choose to live here. I mean, we're surrounded by rolling hills for miles, forests, wildlife. You never need to venture far in order to get inspiration. And the calmness and serenity that the environment here offers is perfect for shutting out the chaos and noise of the modern world. It's a slower pace of life, yes, of course, but often that allows you to hear yourself think. So I do see the appeal as a creative myself, but I don't think I can carry on living here at this stage of my life. Maybe when I'm retired, when I've done everything else I want to do first. Right now, I just want to concentrate on getting into the film industry, and there are no opportunities in this area to justify me staying, so I'm not really left with many other options, am I?
Yeah, mate. I see what you mean. So, what's the plan now then?
Well, first it involves a 3.5 mile walk to the nearest bus stop. Then I can expect to wait a good while, as the buses are never on time. After an hour-long journey to Hereford, I'll make my way over to the train station. Train should be about 2 hours-ish. Anyway, enough about me. What have you been up to?